Stokes here.
And this is Dean Scurry.
I am a traveller.
And I'm a countryman.
Welcome to A Traveller
And a Countryman podcast.
Okay, we're back here now again, and it's number 35 podcast, yeah? A Traveller and a Countryman. Wow.
The number one podcast in
Ireland.
the whole of Ireland. We just got
I think it's actually Europe now at this stage.
We got the phone call last week, the number one podcast in
Ireland. Very good. I like that.
There's been a lot of talk in the last couple of days about UFOs and aliens.
Are you serious?
Yeah, it's been all over the news.
I never seen them.
The Americans were shooting down what they were calling UFOs, like 3 or 4 of them in a week.
But do you believe in UFOs?
That's what I'm asking. I believe in them.
Serious?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Do you think it's a case of either you believe in them or you don't believe in them?
Do I believe in UFOs?
Let's go first of all. Do you think it's a case of it's either believe it or don't believe it? Like ghosts, you believe it or you don't believe it? Or is there a grey area?
So do I believe in UFOs? That's the same question, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so anyway, to be honest about it. I know, like, through the years, people are saying there's been a lot of sightings and stuff like that. It's been on the news a few times and all that. But if it's so frequent and so happens so often, why haven't they, like, investigate into it, like, or are they doing it?
Why isn't there any evidence that you
for
could
starters,
go?
it's something I've never been big into anyway, but I'll go along with it.
Why isn't there evidence to show, like...
Of UFOs?
To prove it. Or
Right.
whatever. Like Bigfoot. There's another one, Bigfoot. Do you believe in Bigfoot?
Who's Bigfoot when he's at home?
The Yeti, the big... This thing looks like you. It's
Looks
a bit
like me.
taller and it's full of hair.
So he's good looking then?
Well, you can't tell because he's full of hair.
And he's not shaved.
He's not shy.
He's not shaved.
He's walking around with no clothes on.
No.
Up in the bleeding...
Then he's not me then.
Up in the north of wherever, Alaska. Or
Who's seen him?
people have said they've seen him.
People have said they've seen him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's...
Bigfoot. You never heard of Bigfoot?
People say these things, and we've seen this and we've seen that and we've seen the other. Now, I'm not saying that they're not to be believed, but where's the real evidence of all of this?
So you an evidence-based
No, I'm
you
not
look
saying...
for evidence.
No, I don't need evidence. Like
Well,
I
then
said,
what are you asking for evidence
no,
for?
it's like the word, I'm here to advise you, not to convince you. So it's your own choice after that. So you're reversing that back on top of me now, right?
I'm saying to you, your advice to me is look for the evidence. Where's the evidence?
No, I don't mean look for the evidence. I'm not going to start going out to Alaska.
Yeah, but your advice to me is there any evidence coming from these people?
Right. I'm saying is, yeah, exactly. I'm back to the same
So
thing.
you're an evidence person. You believe in stuff where there's evidence.
Come here. I am whatever you say I am, okay?
I
Call
am
me
whatever you say I am. And if I wasn't, well, why
Right.
would I say
Yeah,
I am?
Now
Who's
you
that?
have it. Eminem.
Eminem. Very good.
Right. I'm saying is, if it's the case that people are reporting all of these things, where is the evidence? I'm not saying there's no evidence. I'm asking you, is there evidence?
And I'm asking you a few different questions. One is, do you need evidence in order to believe them?
It depends on what you want to believe in. Honestly.
So
It
is there
depends.
things that you believe in that there's no evidence of?
Yes. No. It's not about. I don't need evidence. I'm saying.
So why are you asking
I
other
believe in
people for
God.
evidence in a situation where you don't need
Because God
evidence?
is
You're
higher
talking
than- because-
roundabouts.
I know that, yeah, but you're mixing everything. Come here. You're having a go at me now, aren't you?
I am having a go at you.
I like this one because I've winded you up 1,000 times, and now you know I'm a bit tired today, and you're getting your own back here. Yeah, I know where you're coming from.
Welcome to
But it's
Excuses
okay.
Corner
It's
with
not a
Martin
problem,
Stokes,
right?
the Traveller Man.
I'm easy with that, right?
Excuses Corner with Martin Stokes.
Okay, right. Do I believe in something that doesn't need evidence?
Here we go. Martin's traditional UB40 ringtone every time we do a bleeding podcast.
I turned that volume down, and I haven't a clue why it actually rings. Because look, I'll show you if you don't believe me. Right? There we go. Now, 1 second. But then again, that's another thing. Do you need evidence? Do you need me to show you evidence that I actually turned that ringtone down?
I don't. I'm all right. I trust you.
You just walked yourself into that one there. I turned down the volume on that, and for some reason, it still rings. It's a faulty phone. I'm looking for a phone. Has anyone got a phone out there to give away? Evidence, yes. You're saying, is there anything that I believe in that I don't need evidence of?
Yes, because you're asking.
Yeah, I do.
You're asking this person who's seen the Bigfoot or the UFO, where's your evidence?
No, I don't mean where is the evidence. I'm saying is, have they evidence of that? That's what I'm saying.
That's asking them where is the evidence.
Yeah, it probably is. Yeah, maybe it is. You're saying about, do I need evidence for something? Is there one thing that I believe in that I don't need evidence for?
we all know there's one thing that you believe in. It's the main thing that you believe in.
You're the man.
Do you know what I mean? That there's no evidence for. So what I'm saying is there are other people out there who don't have evidence of UFOs they believe in it.
I'm saying what I believe in is there's plenty of evidence for it, but I don't need to see it. I don't need to question is there evidence because I know it. That's the difference. What you're talking about some Bigfoot. It sounds like some fella that maybe lost his shoe or something. I don't know.
Or a fella who lives up in the clouds in the sky.
Is he a fella?
Oh, who couldn't tell you?
Well, no. So now, do we need evidence now?
They paint him as a picture of a fella.
Do we need evidence now that you don't know if it's a man or a woman or a
I'm all right. No, I'm all right.
An ape or whatever it is?
I'm all right.
Because when you say Bigfoot,
I was talking about God there now. I was talking about God.
No, I wasn't saying. No, I'm not talking about that. Now you're criticising there.
No, I'm not criticising. I'm saying you said there's a thing that you believe in that you don't need evidence of. And I said,
no, I was talking about God.
Yeah.
You knew I was talking about God.
Yeah, exactly.
But then I converted.
You changed it.
I trying to transfer to another story here. What you were saying was some Bigfoot guy, whoever he is.
Yeah.
On the mountains, where in Alaska, is it?
Probably somewhere, wherever he is, the North Pole, Alaska.
So basically, what we're saying here is that you haven't got a clue what you're talking about.
What I'm saying
and yet
is,
you contradict me about evidence. Are you serious? I don't believe this.
This is 101.
Do
How
not
to get your head
believe
fucked up
this.
listening to a traveller man.
The traveller man trying to talk sense to the countryman. Huh? At last, it's a change, isn't it?
Stuff. So there's loads of stories or conspiracies about all types of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
UFOs.
Yes.
Aliens.
Yes.
Bigfoot. There's loads of them. And what I'm interested in is why do we have them? Is it either a case of you believe it or not and it's black and white, or is there a grey area? Because I think a lot of it is a grey area. The grey area is I'm open to anything. Like one day I would think there's no aliens, and then the next day, absolutely there could be aliens. There could be fairies for all I bleeding know. You know what I mean? Who am I to bleed and know what's going on in the world?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. I'm sure there's people out there like scientists that probably dig deeper into all of this anyway. Probably in America.
The American government are saying that there's UFOs.
So they're the ones that are saying it then.
Yeah, and there's scientists saying to them.
And what's
scientists saying to them? Hold on a minute, lads. Where's your evidence for all these UFOs that you're talking about?
So I was right then.
Yeah.
I was right.
What were you saying?
Where's the evidence?
Where's the evidence?
Yeah, again, you just corrected me now.
But it brings us back to square one. There is things that you and me don't need evidence for.
There's millions of things I don't need evidence for. Honestly, lots of things I don't need evidence for.
Yeah.
Like if someone gives you a word and gives you their truth, basically.
Yeah.
Do we need evidence?
So if a man came up to you and said, "Here's a big conspiracy theory that's out there," right? They didn't land on the moon.
They didn't land on the moon.
They were just telling porcupines.
If a man said to me...
If a man came up to you... So one of the big conspiracy theories out there in the world right now...
Would I believe him?
One of the big conspiracy theories out there in the world right now that a lot of people believe in is that the moon landing was faked.
So why did the police make up a song about it then? Walking back from your house, walking on the moon.
Walking on the moon.
We could be together. Walking on the moon.
Walking on the moon.
Walking on the moon.
Boom.
So was that? And it made a big hit as well. So sure they must have believed it then.
Do you believe in the police?
Do I believe in the police? The one about the moon, I know there's they let off some sort of, what do you call it? What's them big things? Like another rocket or missile or whatever, but there's another name for them. I know that. It's like they're like an airplane turned up the way.
Spacecraft,
yes.
Turned up the way.
Well, it's the same thing, isn't it? They just turned them and put it standing up the
way. It's like an airplane standing up.
So if they're landing on the moon and they come back from the moon.
Yeah, but the conspiracy is that never happened.
Did it ever happen? I don't know if it happened or not, but at least there's somebody going and coming back and bringing proof back.
No, they're saying that
there's evidence.
They're saying it was all faked.
It was fake.
Yeah, it was just like a movie. You know, like Superman. They just filmed it. It didn't actually happen.
And do you think it happened?
Do I think we landed on the moon? I'm going to say yes. I think we landed on the moon. But there's a whole group of people that go...
There was a joke about that, Brendan Greystone, wasn't there, about the moon, wasn't there, and the sun?
What was it?
When the Americans were saying they were going to land on the moon.
Yeah.
Brendan Gray said the Irish said we're going to land on the sun. So the American said back, sure, if you land on the sun, you're going to get roasted. He said, no, he said, I'll go up at night time.
Very good.
So the Irish got one up.
You were a big Brendan Grace fan.
It was good.
So there's loads of those, right? Bigfoot, UFOs, aliens landing on the moon. There's another one that about JFK.
What about
JFK? Well, they're saying that he was assassinated.
Yeah.
But it was like all kind of political. The mafia and all these different people were involved in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And do you think they were?
And they also think that there's so many conspiracies about who killed JFK.
We can talk about that, but obviously, it's fair to say that two Irish agents like me, you, travel around the country, man, is not going to solve that case tonight.
Sure, he was an Irish agent himself.
No, I'm just saying we're not going to solve that case.
No, we're not going to solve the
tonight.
JFK story. But what I'm saying is...
But wasn't there a documentary about that? Well, there was lots of documentaries about it.
Hundreds of them. Films and all.
Didn't actually show the shooting itself.
They showed the shooting. They showed that this bullet went, the magic bullet theory, the bullet went into him, went up, went backwards, came, turned a corner, stopped off, had a sandwich, had lunch, got back into the bleeding suitcase, and then went straight out the top of his bleeding head, with all due respect.
And the bullet didn't run out of fuel around.
It didn't run out. I mean, it was one bullet, and it hit about 50 parts of him, and hit the bodyguard beside him.
Right. No, I think it happened anyway.
No, it did happen. He is dead.
Happen, yes.
But what I'm saying is,
he's dead.
There's a conspiracy about how it happened. They're saying it was one man, one bullet, one shooter.
Well, obviously, you did know that was only one bullet. If it was hit with one bullet, then there's obviously one man through the fire.
But the bullet, the story is the bullet went in and out, up and down, 50 different directions. If I shoot you now, the bullet goes into you, stays in you, or comes out the back. It doesn't go up to your elbow, down to your back, down to your knee, you cross your shoulder.
Sounds like you were watching a low-budget movie, was it? Because they couldn't pay for all the evidence. Go into the YouTube and you'll see all of them there about JFK, where your man was on the building where you shot him down from. One direct shot.
Yeah, Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yes.
So what I'm saying is, there are thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people who think that that's bullshit. That think that people landing on the moon is bullshit.
Yeah, Dean, again, it's back to the one thing, isn't it?
What?
Them people, the thousands of people that don't believe, these investigators and these scientists, they're shouting out and saying to you, hold on for a second, look at, it's my job to advise you, not to convince you. It's the same thing. It boils back to the one thing. So therefore, they don't care if you believe it or not. What they want is the important people to believe it. Do you get what I'm saying? They don't care about the rest of the world believing it or not. They're going to do their job the way they think it has to be done anyway. And look, probably did do their job the way that they needed doing, because the American police and forces and all these FBIs, they're big guys in America, like, aren't they?
They are big guys, but that doesn't mean that they always tell the truth.
They mightn't tell the truth about
it. Like, one of the biggest ones in America, one of the biggest conspiracies in America is what?
The biggest conspiracy is lies, is it?
No, that's the definition of a conspiracy.
Yes.
Well, kind of. The biggest conspiracy is that the Twin Towers at 9/11 wasn't blown up by whoever, Osama bin Laden.
Right.
That it was blown up by the Americans themselves.
Yeah, but just think of it. Everything that goes on around the world, right?
Exactly.
There's always a theory. There's always a conspiracy. There's always someone.
You have a great one. You have a great conspiracy theory.
What's that one?
Your mobile phone and the 5G.
What about it?
The radiation.
Is that a theory? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a conspiracy theory. There's no evidence for that.
There is no evidence.
No.
But I don't need evidence. I don't need to give you evidence. It's me. Yeah, it happens. It doesn't happen now. It used to happen. It happens to me. So.
Oh well, maybe not just you. The whole. Do you remember just before COVID?
Yes.
And everyone was even writing up on the walls. I remember up by my girlfriend's, I had on the walls 5G kills.
Yes.
And then I had another one. COVID-19 is a load of bollocks.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So
every
is
couple
that 5G
of months
up and going now? It is.
Yeah. Well,
like, I mean, in full swing. Like, I know they were there a couple of years ago. They were trying their best to put them up in places where people couldn't see them.
People were burning them down and all.
That's right. So what's that? Is that a theory as well? Yeah.
It is a theory. Yeah, it's a conspiracy theory.
So tell me, why were people burning them down?
Because they were believing the conspiracy and they were afraid.
Afraid of what?
Of what the theory was saying, that these 5G pylons were there to control and kill people.
Right.
Control your brain.
Control your brain.
Yeah. That's what people were thinking.
I think they got that one right.
Do you think so?
Yeah, to a certain degree. If you're going around with a phone, that phone is controlling your brain to a certain degree. It's simple, and no matter how we look at it.
Yeah, but the phones now have 3G and 4G.
That phone is in your pocket, yeah, and it bleeps, a WhatsApp comes. You automatically get that signal in your brain. You want to see what's in that WhatsApp. So if you have the time, you check it. Then, when you check that WhatsApp, it's done with. Your brain just settles again. And it happens over and over and over.
But that's not about 5G. That's just about the phone.
Yeah, that's right. But we're going back to just what you said there a couple of seconds ago. So therefore, someone sends you a message. Do you know what's in that message without checking it? You don't. Dean, you don't have the time to think about that.
You're telling me the answer, thanks.
Yeah, but I'm just saying you don't need time to think about that. Like, I know.
It's a rhetorical question.
Right. If a message comes to your phone and you don't check that message, do you know what that message is?
Do I care?
No, I'm not asking you, do you care?
All right, I don't know what it is.
You don't. So is it bugging you to find out what that message is in that phone?
For me, no. But I know it does for a lot of people.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have Dean Scurry here today. He's one of the special guys. Is that, yeah?
Just because it's not something you want to hear.
You're all special now.
Hold on, you don't want to hear
it. Wait for a second.
You have the answer in your head already.
It doesn't matter about me having the answer. Yeah, maybe I do know the answer. But the point about it is...
So why are you asking the question for then?
Because why are you denying the answer?
Because it's not the answer. It's not my answer.
Yeah,
it's your answer.
So basically, you're special now. How many million people in Ireland?
5.
5 million. So
yeah.
if 4 or 4.5 million of them has phones, yeah?
Yeah.
Everybody probably agrees with the fact that if a message comes to the phone, they're going to check to see who's sending it or what the message is. But it doesn't bother you. You don't check messages.
Yeah, but you're special as well because you don't need evidence of certain things. You just believe them.
In a lot of ways, I understand that. But I'm talking about a phone here, okay?
Because it suits you to talk about the phone. But as soon as I talk about the thing,
you were the one to talk about 5Gs.
About.
You said I was the only one who had headaches when I used the phone too long, yeah? Obviously, we're being sarcastic about it, I know that, right? But the thing about the phone is, you were saying about people are saying that these 5G pylons, is that right? Are controlling people's brains.
Yeah.
Okay then, right. Give them the benefit of the doubt, right?
They were burning them down, man.
Yeah, yes. But you're saying that it doesn't. They don't.
No, they don't.
Right. So I'm saying, if you have a phone in your pocket, and the signal from that pylon is controlling your phone. So without that signal, you don't have on your phone, do you? We don't have signal, do we? So we get no phone calls, we get no messages, we have no WhatsApp, we have no what do you call it?
So you're saying it's indirectly controlling your brain?
No, I'm not saying that. So we have no internet.
That is
right?
what you're saying.
Well, let me finish anyway. So we have no internet, yeah. So therefore, isn't that phone controlling a certain part of your life?
100%.
Whether you like it or not.
100%.
Why didn't you say that first instead of having me explain a big life story to you?
Because they got more specific. They were saying there's 4G pylons, there's 3G pylons. They were saying the 5G pylons are put there by the government to control us specifically, not any of the other ones.
But in what way?
I haven't got a fucking clue. In a way that there's microwave signals being sent around everywhere
to control your brain.
Yeah.
So directly control your brain.
Directly control your brain.
No, I don't believe that.
So what I'm saying is that loads of people, like a huge amount of people, they were spraying on the walls. They were burning down pylons.
Yeah.
Just as...
I think they were more concerned about health hazards than anything else, were they?
Possibly, but they were taking it out on 5G.
What I heard years ago...
They were threatening people who were putting up 5G pylons that they'd batter them.
Yeah, but they said that... is that right?
100%.
5G pylons. Well, I'll tell you a little bit of a story in a few minutes then, will I?
Go on, tell us now.
Do you know them pylons?
Yeah.
Do you reckon there's a very, very strong radiation come from them? Did you ever hear that?
Yeah, like an electromagnetic radiation.
Right, irradiation.
Yeah.
Does radiation cause problems to people's health? Yeah.
Yeah, it can do. Yeah, if it's of a certain frequency, absolutely. Yeah.
Right. So what I reckon was that what was happening was then there were the people that were complaining in the areas about these companies putting up pylons, yeah, and the people of course didn't want them beside them because they thought they were dangerous for starters. So to prove that they weren't dangerous, they set up some meetings. And then with residents and with companies and whatever, just say, yeah. So, but what they were doing, they sent people out, like another team basically, a team now that wasn't connected to the people that owned the pylons, say the phone companies if you like, right, the networks. So what they done was when the people would go and do the test on how much radiation was coming from these pylons, yeah, the companies would turn down the frequencies
just as they were testing them
from their offices.
Yeah.
So now the testers, which were nothing got to do with the companies, were coming back with a small frequency, enough to say that it was safe.
The results were low.
So when the testers were down off the pylons and gone, the companies would turn up the frequency again from their offices, basically.
Now, what I'm saying is, where's the evidence for that?
No, this is what I'm getting at. This, as I said, this what was supposed to be happening years ago.
Yeah.
Because all these pylons became a new thing, like back years, you know what I'm saying? When the mobile phone...
I know there was one here in Ballymun, and in and around where it was, there was a high number of cases of women with cancer.
Touchwood, yeah.
There was, in this one area, there was like, let's say there was 20 women.
Well, I think that was the fear of the people that was living around them, basically. Like in what they start doing in all around the UK, basically. When there was so many complaints going in about these pylons and the radiation that was coming from them and all that sort of stuff, yeah, in the areas where it was all residential areas, they start separating like if you look up at a pylon today now, you'll see they look like big speakers that's on the... Do you ever see a big church speaker? Right, about the length of a big factory roof light, the old factory roof lights, okay? Right, if you look up, you might see 30 or 40 of them onto the pylon, yeah? So what they start doing then was, they start putting less of them on, and the ones that were taken down completely was literally destroyed, you might say. So they start putting them onto billboards, behind billboards.
And hiding them away.
Yes. And then they start putting them on top of factories and on top of, like, say, fancy buildings, if you like.
Putting what?
What? These frequency testers, if you like.
Oh, yeah. Like,
they were like...
satellite dishes.
They were sending a signal.
Yeah.
But they were in the shape of, say, to be about, let's say, half a foot in width, and there could be anything up to 5 foot in length. And they were bolted onto the pylons, yeah? But there could be 30 or 40 of them, yeah?
You can see them on top of the hotel here in Ballymun.
Yeah, you'll see them, yes. But what they done in the UK anyway, they started, when there were so many complaints about them, they start disguising them and they put them on top of, say, certain buildings or into any area.
There's one on the motorway, it's dressed up as a tree.
This is what I'm getting at. And they were disguising them completely as trees. So you looked at it, you seen a tree, didn't you? And then
you didn't pay any mind to it.
All sorts of disguises. You putting them behind billboards where you couldn't see them.
So why do you think they were disguising them? Do you think it was just because
that was enough proof to say they were dangerous.
I don't know. I'm not convinced by that. I think they look ugly, so made them look less ugly.
No, I don't think so. I think they were dangerous.
So what I'm saying is that's a conspiracy theory from your end.
Come here. And you live in proof that the world doesn't care about ugly. Am I right? Now, if they cared about them being ugly, yeah, they would have disguised the pylon itself and do something with it. But they couldn't, because they couldn't prove that these things weren't dangerous. So anyway, one time but
it's hard to prove to somebody who doesn't know the language that you're talking.
Yeah.
It's like someone trying to explain to me how a rocket ship propels itself. You know what I mean? I don't understand rocket science.
One time they were putting a pylon in the factories there beside us in Ballymun. Yeah. And I was whenever I was driving in and around there, we used to get the wood for the stove, yeah. And next I spotted this pylon, but it was underground, already built basically. And it was an English company. So I went into the factory. See, you have all the different factories, yeah? And say, of course, they have a certain amount of ground around them, yeah? Their fences around that. So I went into the factory where they had the base, big concrete base built about, I'd say about 15 foot by 15 square, basically. And all the bolts, these big bolts for to hold this thing on, yeah? It was massive. And all they were waiting for was the crane to come and lift this off the ground and set it into the concrete, if you like. So I went into the factory where they were putting it, basically. And I called your man out. I said, what's the story? He said, with that thing there, I said. He said, it's an English company. He said, they're putting it up there. I said, they're not putting it up there, I said. So what I done, I went and I came back. And actually, first of all, I went over to the lads at the van. There's a couple of vans there. And I told them, I said, look, I said, do not lift that there. I said, you can cancel your lorry. I said, don't bring no cranes out around here. I said, that is not going up there because too many women and children around here, I said. And I said, if you want to find a place, bring it over there where all the big empty fields are, I said.
So this is at the corner of the back of yours in the factory?
This is right down about, if you went down to the bottom of the site where we live, it would be no more than about 100 feet away. Say 100 feet. Yeah. Let's say, put it this way, about maybe 30 to 40 metres away. So something around that anyway, you know what I mean?
And there's radio signals and all types of signals going in and out
yeah,
of
these
that.
things, they were flooding it out of it, they were. So I told him, I said, look, I said, do not put that up there, I said. So I'm back into your man in the factory. I said, what's this? Now, the same laddie, I'm not going to mention his name, but he's a good friend of mine. I said, what's the story there, I said, with that thing going up there, I said. I said, how much are you getting paid, I said, to do that, I said. Do you not think, I said, people's health are more important than basically, than a few bob, I said, a year, I said, for the contract for to put that up there. I said, that's not going up there. But he tried to convince me that it was no harm. So he was a friend of mine, but he was a good friend. I know him a long time.
Yeah.
But to be honest with you, we had hot words and we almost fell out. So I told him, I said, look, I said, whichever way you think, I said, is wrong, I said, that is not going up there. And I said, I'll be back down in a few minutes to make sure that doesn't go down there. So I went off and I came back down again. And I told the lads, I said, look, lads, I said, there's no lorry coming in there to lift that. I said, if you don't get your stuff out of there, I said, there's no need there'll be no need for me to say any more about it, I said, you know what's going to happen.
That's like a soft tray.
Well, I was being nice to them, wasn't I? I was being very, very kind to them, like, you know what I mean? This was very, very dangerous, this pylon, and like, all this stuff, the equipment they had waiting to put onto it was unbelievable.
So they'd be adding more stuff onto it.
Yeah, but they would have put a lot more stuff there because why? It was like, let's say, free space, if you like. You know what I mean? So the bottom line, it was at the end of a traveller site, and I wasn't having it. So what happens? They got the stuff back together. They dismantled the pylon. It was just, I'm telling you, they were just waiting for the lorry just to come and lift it. It was massive.
See, what's mad about that is there's very few people in the world would know what signals are going in and out of that and how dangerous that might be to the population around it.
Yeah, that's right.
Do you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't know.
No, but
you wouldn't know specifically.
No, I wouldn't know
what signals are going in and out of that, how much are going in, what type of radiation is emitted by it. But you got this kind of sense going, no, I get a bad feeling from that. You know what I mean? I get a gut feeling.
Yeah, you get the feelings, but you're also you're also, as you go along, you're getting different types of information, and more people are talking about these things.
Yeah, so but what I'm saying is,
everything can be wrong.
Most people who are talking about that, most people that you will talk to about that, haven't got a clue what they're talking about.
Yeah, but don't forget, it had to come from somewhere. It had to come from somewhere. So why does everybody complain about it then? Why are they taking them down? Why are they putting up a bigger fight to say, look, we can show you living proof of this, that these are not dangerous to anybody's health, and we're going to have this plan.
Yeah, but there's always going to be a problem that the people explaining it are explaining it to people who, no matter how much explaining they'll do, won't understand. Do you know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Okay, so if you're talking about stuff like that, if you're talking about 5G, I done computer science in college, and I studied, say, technology to a high level.
Wow.
And somebody explaining what goes in and out of a 5G controller, I wouldn't have a fucking clue.
But I don't have a clue either.
So that's what I'm saying.
But the point about it is, you don't take chances. If I say to you, Dean, are you going for a swim?
So where does that stop? Because people say to me all the time, don't go for a swim, it's dangerous.
That's okay, but I'm getting that. If I said to you, Dean, will we go for a swim? You love swimming, don't you? And if I said to you, Dean...
And I have experience.
No, wait for a second. If I said to you, Dean, there's a shark in that water there, do you want to go for a swim? Now, you don't know it's a shark in there now and you can't see him, but would you go for a swim?
Yes.
Oh, I don't believe this.
I would.
I'm out of here.
I've swam in shark water.
Listen, I'm cutting this podcast short. I'm out of here.
I've swam in Australia and in South Africa in shark water.
So I'll do it better again for you, right? If I said, Dean, there's a shark in there and he's going to eat you to bits.
He's at eating 3 people this week.
Would you go in there?
Not if he had 3 people that week.
Forget about the 3 people. We're going to eat you.
How would we know he's going to eat me?
Well, would you take a chance?
I would. I have done.
Would you take a chance? No, listen.
No, I have done.
Let's get this right. You are definitely acting a superhero around me.
No. You go swimming in Australia. There's sharks in the water. You go swimming in the Indian Ocean in South Africa.
Right.
There's sharks in the water.
Yeah, but are you allowed to go swimming in it?
Yes.
Well, then them ones are not dangerous then. They're white sharks. Okay?
No, there's sharks that will kill you in the water.
And you still go swimming?
Yes.
Right, so are you actually saying if a shark tried to attack you, you'll be able to fend them off, would you?
So in, say, Bondi Beach, if they spot a shark, they'll go, right, everyone out of the water, there's a shark in there. And then you listen to them.
That means don't go in there. So I'm saying to you, if I told you, Dean, there's a shark in that water, Dean,
if you told me, I'd still go in. If a lifeguard told me, I'd go, I'm going to listen to him because he's here every day.
Yeah, because he might be sick of looking at you being there every day. he's letting you in. But I said, Dean, you're my old buddy, I don't want you to go in there, he's going to eat you to bits. Would you do that?
So the moral of the story is,
if we
listen to experts, we should take their advice.
The moral of the story is, just because we don't see it doesn't mean it's not in there, for starters. But someone is telling you that this is dangerous territory, don't go in there. You have to make your own decision, is it good or bad, what should I do? Me, I'd be turning around and going, getting away from that. So it's the same thing with the pylon, stay away from it, it's very simple. Don't let them build them up beside you. Because why? Because we're being told they're dangerous. And if they're not dangerous, we still not taking no chances. It's very simple. So if a person tells you, look, it's dangerous, do you want to...
But the fella putting in the pylon, who knows everything about it,
I'll tell you what it is,
he's putting in the pylon beside his house as
well.
well.
Yeah, no, he's not.
Is he not? How do you know that?
No, I'll tell you how I know, because he was an English company and they built it back...
Not that one pylon, but any fucking pylon.
Believe me, majority of them are English companies, and this guy's...
There's pylons in England.
That's right. They got Americans to do them for them. Because they didn't want to build them beside
them. So everyone does the pylon in someone else's country.
That's an American company. And the Irish are building in England as well. Sure, the Irish built all the roads in England, so what was stopping them from building pylons? They built all the bridges around Birmingham and Manchester and London and everywhere. So what's the difference of building pylons?
Right, here's one for you, right? There are people out there that 100% believe the earth is flat.
Flat?
Flat as a pancake.
So why do they say it's been all around the world?
Because it's a round circle.
If it's flat, why do they say you just says flat?
Yeah.
So how do you know it's round?
Well, that bit of paper there is flat, but it could be all around the paper.
Yeah, I understand that.
So they're saying it's flat. See that bit of paper there?
Yeah.
They're saying it's like that. It's in a circle.
So we're living in a flat, round world. Is that what we're saying?
There's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people that believe in a flat, round world. Yes, and that the North Pole is in the middle.
Yeah.
And that all around the edge is a big wall of ice.
Yeah.
And that underneath it is like a sea that never ends.
Underneath the earth?
Like, you have the sea here.
Yeah.
Well, down the sea just keeps on going down forever and ever and ever.
Serious?
That's what they believe.
So is the earth then floating on the sea? Is that what you're saying?
That's what they think, yeah. And they believe that the sun is only a couple of hundred miles away and the stars are only a couple of thousand miles away. Like, this is popular. People talk about this. People have made films, podcasts, documentaries about this.
Yeah, but making stuff doesn't mean it's still evidence, is it?
Absolutely it doesn't.
So do you think it's true or not?
I think it's crackpot. I think it's whack job.
I don't know what to think, because if there's so much nonsense like this, what people think...
There's loads of them. So, flat earth. JFK was assassinated by the bleeding government. 9/11 was a cover-up job.
Supposing the earth is flat, does it make a difference if it's flat or round or square? Does it make a difference? Because it is what it is, and that's it. Look at it, we're walking.
Who cares? Is that what you're saying?
I don't mean who cares. I don't care any, to be honest with you, because like the way we live and where we're based, and
it doesn't affect your day-to-day living.
How does it affect us? Tell us.
No, that's what I'm saying. You're saying it doesn't affect your day-to-day living.
No, absolutely not. How would it? Does it affect yours?
So there are other people. Here's another one. There's people out there that say the moon is a spaceship.
Question first.
There's people out there that say the moon is a spaceship.
The moon
is a spaceship. It's not real.
No, that's a lot of nonsense. They reckon that the moon does, it travels around the world. Is that right?
Yeah, it goes around. It's in orbit of the earth.
Yeah?
Yeah, it moves.
Right, and what about the earth itself? Does the earth move?
What do you think?
I don't know.
So
I don't think they need to move if the moon goes around us.
So here's one. Do you think that...
The sun moves.
The sun moves, does it?
Yeah, did you ever watch the sun move?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever watch the moon move?
Yeah.
We don't need any more proof than that. We see it ourselves. We don't need scientists to tell us the moon moves, or the stars moves, or the sun moves.
So,
because you can stand here and watch it move.
Does the earth move?
That's what we don't know.
Who doesn't know?
I don't know.
Okay. So
And I don't think it does.
Scientists would say.
I don't think it does.
Scientists would say.
What? It does.
That the Earth. So they would say
moves a fraction of a fraction of a fraction every so often, is it?
Listen for a second. They would say that at the center of our solar system, not the universe, just our solar system, where the planets are here, like Mars, Mercury, Venus, and so on, that they all move around the sun.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Earth moves around the sun.
Earth.
Yeah. Earth, Mars, Venus, Neptune, Jupiter, all move around the sun. The sun is in the middle. And all those planets move around that. And it takes 1 year for the Earth to go in a full orbit or a full circle around the sun.
Don't believe it.
Do you know?
I don't. Because I've often sat there in a lovely summer's evening, and when the sun is going down, if it takes a year for the Earth to move, it only takes a couple of minutes for the sun to move. The sun to go down. So which of them is moving? It's proof that the sun is moving, not the Earth. Has to be.
No.
Well, listen. Why is the sun move right here? Why is the sun on one stage is up here, and then it's down, down, down?
Here's why.
No, watch. Listen for a second.
Go on.
You just said it takes a year for the Earth to move a fraction.
No, I didn't say that. I said it takes 1 year for the Earth to do a full circle around the sun.
Right, I don't believe that.
But that's scientists. That's what science says.
Science doesn't always get it right, you know.
Nope.
They don't.
But you use science every day.
No, what I'm trying to say is they get it right sometimes, but is the
So
world...
do you think that they got this one wrong?
Isn't the world a massive, massive, massive place?
Are you talking about Earth?
What man on Earth can actually tell that the world actually moves? You have to be above the Earth, looking down on it. So basically, you're not in the world then, right?
So they've been above the Earth. If you believe that they landed on the moon, they've been above the Earth.
Yes.
Yeah, so you were looking...
And they're saying it takes a year for the Earth to go around the sun.
Yeah.
Dean, come on. Just think for 1 second.
What?
Does this make sense to you? I'm sitting in my car, sitting somewhere.
This is great.
Of a summer's evening. Yeah? And I'm saying this is a beautiful day. Now it's about 9 o'clock, 9:30 in the evening. And all of a sudden, the sun starts moving, yeah? And it's nice and red, and we're saying it's going to be a lovely day tomorrow, please God, yeah?
Red sky at night.
And all of a sudden, the sun is going down, 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 down.
Farmer's delight.
And within about 5 minutes to 10 minutes, yeah? Yeah?
Yeah.
The sun is gone. So, if it takes a year for the Earth to go around the sun, and the sun is gone in 5 minutes or 10 minutes, what does that tell you?
So
it tells me that the sun is moving, not the Earth.
This is great. So you said the magic word there at the start of that sentence. You said day, right?
Who's day when they're home?
No, D-A-Y, not T-H-E-Y. Yeah.
D-A-Y, day.
Yeah, yeah. So in
night,
one day,
day, night,
day. Yeah. In one day, what happens is the Earth makes one full rotation. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's also, as it's moving like that rotation, it's also moving around the sun in a year. So it does a daily rotation like that.
Right.
But it also then rotates around the sun in 1 year. So that's how you get the
winter.
It's
and
one
the
of the reasons
and
why
stuff.
you get
winter and summer and all that.
Winter and summer.
Dark days, bright days, long days.
That's
short.
kind of got to do with that the Earth is at an angle. That's how you get winter and summer and seasons and all that. But
I've never really.
So science says that the sun, relative to the Earth, the sun isn't moving. We move around, yeah. But on a daily basis, and so the sunset and the sunrise is the Earth moving relative to the sun. So you can imagine that light there.
The reason I don't care about the Earth moving is because no matter where it moves, I'm still in the one spot anyway.
Yeah, but you're looking at the sun
me.
and you're thinking that sun is moving down, but it's not.
The Earth is moving.
The Earth is moving. So the sunrise and the sunset is the Earth moving.
Can you prove that to me?
Can I prove that?
Yeah.
Science states that as fact.
So are you telling me then that the Earth actually moves within 10 minutes? Can move 1,000,000 miles?
No, not 1,000,000 miles, but it moves quite fast. It's traveling through space.
And this is all day, every day?
All day, every day since it started, yeah, and until it ends.
So tell me, how many million people living on the Earth?
And now I would say there's about 9.5 billion people.
Billion?
Yeah.
Right. How many people living on the sun?
0.
How many people living on the moon?
0.
But there's supposed to be people living on the moon, is there?
I don't know, is there?
The police, they're living on the moon.
And a couple of mice to have all the cheese. And the man on the moon.
Right. So would you believe, now forget about science, forget about all these fellas are getting paid millions to look at computers. Yeah, and come up with some sort of a theory whether it's true or not.
Yeah.
Right. Would you think that the Earth with billions of people on, or the sun with nobody on it, is the easiest thing to move?
Who do you think is moving it? It's moving.
Well, it's God's creation.
Yeah. So, are you saying God is moving it?
Yes.
God is moving what?
The sun.
So the Earth is staying still.
Yes.
And what about all the other planets? Do they stay still?
What other planets is there?
Mars, Jupiter, Neptune.
Yeah, but
Venus.
is this theory again, or are there people living in them?
What do you mean?
Yeah, just what I said.
One question. Let's get the question clear. Do you think there's a place called Jupiter and it's real?
I don't know.
Mars.
I've heard of them, but I don't know. I've never been there.
You've never been there. But you don't. You just said at the start of this, you don't need evidence.
No, but I'm saying I've never been there, so I don't know if they do. I'm not looking for evidence because you know why? Because I really don't care.
You don't care.
Absolutely. So, I don't have an interest in that.
So in your head, the sun moves, say up and down in the sky, Earth stays still.
Yeah.
And that's the way you see it.
No, I believe that.
Yeah.
That's what I believe.
Yeah.
And I don't care if a million scientists gets together and comes back with different theories.
So do you believe that the moon moves as well?
Yes, I do.
So the sun and the moon
move, yes.
But the Earth stays still?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, okay.
That's just, I'm entitled to my opinion, I'm saying.
So let's say there was somebody living on Mars.
Yeah.
Would Mars move?
I don't know. I don't even know if Mars exists.
Yeah.
Or Jupiter. What else was the other one?
Neptune, Venus, Mercury.
Yes. Who even put the names on these planets, if they're there?
Well, those names came from Greek mythology.
Greek mythology?
Yeah.
So that's even worse
myths,
again. But that's worse again because now why? Now they're using computer science to do all of this. If you go back 100 or 200 or 300 years, whatever length they want to go back, sure, they didn't have no way of doing it at all, so they were guessing everything. They didn't even have an airplane or what do you call them things again? What's them?
Rockets.
The rockets.
Spacecraft.
They didn't even have a rocket back then to find out what was going on around outside the world or above the world or what.
So you know when you look up at the sky and you see the stars moving?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like you look out, say your caravan, and you see a star.
Yes.
And then the next day or an hour later you come and that's moved somewhere else.
The stars moved.
Are you saying the stars are moving as well?
Yes, I think so.
So the Earth is staying still.
I believe so.
And the stars are moving.
Yes.
So is the Earth the centre of everything?
You see, the thing about it is, I'm not saying, I don't know if there's proof for this or what. I know you said that millions of scientists have looked into this through the years, but I'm saying, what I believe is that it's just the moon that moves, the stars that moves, and the sun that moves.
So everything moves around the Earth?
I think so, yeah.
So the Earth is the centre of everything?
Yes.
Now, science has proven, science states that it's not an Earth central model. That it doesn't all move around the Earth.
Yeah, but
That's
don't forget. Don't
says.
Forget this. Science has got. We call the scientists, right?
Yeah.
They have got it wrong a million times over.
Give us an example.
Different types of examples.
Give us one example.
What's good for you? What's bad for you? If you're doing exercise, walking or running or jogging or swimming.
Eat fat. Don't eat biscuits.
Don't jump into the sea and the shark in there.
Watch your back. Here's Bigfoot.
See, the thing about it is, like you said, eat fat, eat biscuits.
COVID-19.
Chill
here's
out.
The cure. The cure's going to kill you.
Chill out. Eat what you like. Not too much of it, but eat what you like. Yeah. Because if you can't eat it, it's putting pressure on the brain. What does science say about that? About starving yourself and wanting something, not having it.
Here's another one, right?
I've seen lots and lots of on the internet, right? Numerous times where scientists say such and such and such is good for you. And it could be 3 weeks off or a month off.
Or every bleeding week.
Such a scientist is after revealing that this is bad for you.
Omega-3 oils are good for you. The next week they're bad for you.
Yeah, exactly. So who are you supposed to believe? Just go with your own conscience. Go with your own beliefs. Go with your own...
I'm not saying that that's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
Like I'm saying...
I'm happy enough, right, to sit there in the evenings and just watch the sun go by and the moon
and not give a rat's what goes around what.
And not give a damn where the world moves. As I said, I'm based in the one place anyway. So it doesn't make a difference if it's moving or not.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So I love that. Do you? I've never been.
I loved it up until the moment where I got this change in my head. I remember one day going out. I was probably up the back fields in Ballymun in the 80s, and we were lying on our back in the field.
Did the fields move?
The fields move, yeah. The mushrooms were that strong. I was lying on my back in the fields,
Looking at the sky.
looking at the stars, and I seen a shooting star. And then
What'd you say? Get out of there.
yeah, it's up the yard. The stars were so bright, it felt like I was floating in the universe. And I got, for a moment, a split moment, this kind of feeling that Earth is just this big rock that's in that vastness of space, that's just floating in that vastness of space.
You're very weird, aren't you?
No, and that's not weird at all. When it happens to you, it feels really weird and interesting.
Did you say when you were in college, that you done all your science degrees, did you?
Yeah.
So is that why this is happening to you?
I don't know.
Don't forget,
This happened when I was a young fella. So
don't forget, a lot of
let's
stuff
go. Let's go back to the
brain.
flat Earth theory, right? If it's not flat Earth, if it's a ball, is that ball just floating somewhere?
I don't know.
What do you think happens?
Well, I was talking about the moon, the stars, and the sun.
Yeah,
and I think that's what happens. The rest of the world, I don't know.
Where's Earth? Where is Earth?
I haven't got a clue. Seriously, something I never talked about or try to learn about or say get into conversations.
Is there something below it or above it or onto the sides or
around it?
Let's say you go all the way up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The sky. We have the sky around it.
And what's past the sky?
Heavens.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, heaven.
And if you go, let's say you drill down to Australia.
Go on.
Through the middle of the earth and you go and you're coming out in Australia.
Is that possible?
Well, let's say you could do it.
Did you not just say earlier on that down so when you go so far, there's all sea?
No, that's what some people believe. The flat earth, that it's a flat earth, that it's all sea.
Right. And now you're saying, so that's what one person believes.
Well, so a whole group of people
just
believe.
Say right, but just say one person.
One person, yeah.
We'll see that one speaks for a million, yeah?
Exactly.
Right. And now you're saying, if you dig down far enough, you come into Australia.
Yeah.
So, which is there a sea or is it Australia under us?
Well, science would say that if you drill down into the middle of Earth, you go into this kind of volcano core, which is like molten lava.
Yeah, but I think I don't think you'd be a scientist for that. I think we can guess them things.
Well, okay. If you had a shovel and enough men or women
dug down,
and you dug down, where would you end up?
In a hole.
If you kept on
looking for a rope to get out.
If you kept on digging, what would happen?
You'd be going deeper.
Until what?
Tell. There is no what. You just dig and dig and dig and dig. That's it.
So underneath this ground,
so still earth,
just ground
still
forever.
Earth. I think so. Yes.
Like how a mile, 100 million miles, a billion miles?
I don't know, but I think if you keep digging, you're going to find yourself still on the same level, the same gravel or same muck or stones or
so
dirt.
Earth in your head isn't a ball then. It's not like a sphere. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it depends. See, the thing about it is, we might there might be.
This is groundbreaking shit now.
There mightn't be.
You get it? Groundbreaking.
We mightn't. Yeah, groundbreaking. Good one. We mightn't have the power, or the means, or the ways of digging so far to find out where that's going.
They have caves that are like 6-7 kilometers.
Because I reckon if you dig down far enough, then you're in hell.
Who does? You do.
Man does.
No, you're a man.
Yeah.
Not all men.
Yes.
Some men. If you dig down far enough,
you're going to hell.
You're going to hell or you're
far?
in hell. Is that how you get to hell?
How far is it?
Yeah, how far is it?
Well, it's up to you. It depends how you live your life.
So you've said this before. You said this before. Heaven is up and hell is down.
You don't need a shovel to go to hell. I tell you. If you're not living your life right, it's a free ticket.
Here's another one you mightn't have heard of, right? You know when you see a plane flying over and you look up and there's all like trails coming out the back of it.
Yeah.
So there's people out there who full-time, always are fully convinced that they're called chemtrails and they're there to control us. The chemicals in it are there to, make us sick or brainwash us or whatever. There's loads of different theories. But you ever look up of a day and there's like trails of smoke or water going across up and down the whole sky?
Yeah.
So there's people out there, like, there's people that they just don't tell you this.
What?
That believe that those trails are there to control us. From the airplanes. The airplanes keep on flying over and spraying the stuff out like fertilizer.
Do you think so?
Do I think what?
Do you think that happens?
I think people believe that. I think it's a load of bollocks.
I think it's childish talk, honestly.
But what I'm saying is there's fully ass grown adults that believe the earth is flat.
Yeah, but they learned it when they were young, so it's still in their brains.
Well, people learn a lot of stuff when they're long.
Yeah, but they don't.
People learn about heaven and earth when they're young.
They don't keep everything in their brains. A lot of people keep the scary
You're
stuff.
at the keeping the one in your brain that if you dig all the way down, you end up in hell.
No, I didn't say that. Oh, I was being sarcastic with you. I said to you.
So what happens when you dig all the way down?
I said you don't need a shovel to get to hell. Did you hear me saying that?
I like that one.
I said if you don't live your life right, you get a free ticket to hell.
I like the one where
you live a bad life.
What happens when you dig all the way down? Where are you? And you said, you're in a hole.
You're digging. Yeah, go on. Yeah, so what else?
So there's a list of them, right? The earth is flat. Yes or no?
The earth is flat.
Yeah.
It is a tricky question, being honest about it, because the fact that let's say we're living on flat ground, if you like, walking on flat ground. I think that's where the image probably comes from. I'm guessing that it is.
And also, when you get in a boat, right?
But who am I to dispute that the world is either round or flat when, like, the word that goes is around the world. We don't hear flat the world. I'm going to flat the world. What? I'm going to go around the world. Did
you ever get into a boat or a ship, right? And you go across the Irish Sea. And you get to a point where you can't see land.
Yes.
And what can you see in front of you?
Sea.
And right at the edge.
I see sea.
Right at the edge, you see what?
Right at the edge?
Yeah.
Is there an edge?
Well, when you look out.
You see the sky.
You see the sky and then...
No matter how far you look out, you'll see the sky. So you have that opinion. This is a bit of interest a bit. So, I've often passed heat looking at distance. And when you look so far... you'll see the sky. So if you look up, obviously you'll see the sky. So it makes you think that the sky is rounded. Because you look so far, it's in front of you then, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you're on the sea.
If you look up, you'll see the sky, right?
Yeah.
If you look out so far, you'll see the sky.
And what's down here below your eye line?
The water was there.
The water. So there's a place where the water and the sea meet. Yeah?
Right, yes.
What's that called? Do you know what that's called?
It looks like that, yes.
What's that called? The horizon.
The horizon, is it?
Yeah, that's the horizon. Yeah, so when you look out at the blue sky...
Yes.
Now, the reason the sky is blue is for a few different reasons. One of them is the sea is blue and it's a reflection.
Right, come on, yeah.
As far as I'm aware, that's the answer to that.
No, we'll use that. We'll let you off that one anyway.
Yeah. Like, the sky isn't blue. It's just that's the way we see it. It's the way light is reflected.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
That's more science rubbish. Is the whole world a sea? Is it a sea?
Like half of the world is water.
Half the world is sea.
Yeah.
So
half of the world's land area is covered in sea.
Fair enough. So what about the part of it where it's all land, massive land? Go to Nigeria, for instance.
Yeah, Africa is huge. Russia is huge.
Africa is
Australia is massive.
Right, Africa is it is a big continent, right? Now, and it's all land. Yeah, right. So what colour is the sky above that?
Very good question. That's an amazing question.
If it's blue, does that mean it's reflecting off the green grass of Africa?
That's a stunning question. I never thought about it like that.
Yeah, but you told me you done all your science degrees.
Yeah, but I also told you I'm open to anything. Right. One day I'll believe one thing, and the next day I'll change my mind.
Back in your day, when they giving out free science degrees about story.
Yeah, I don't know false course in science.
Was it false or false? Was it a false course or a false course?
So when you look out on the horizon, and people kind of get that sense that if you go any further, you'll fall off the edge of the water.
Right.
If you kept on going, because they can't see land, so they kind of get this sense. So hundreds of years ago, they used to think if you go all the way, like when they were exploring the world in ships 200, 300 years ago, they used to think if you go further than the edge, what happens? You fall off. That's the edge of the world. And that's where that flat earth theory started to come along.
That sounds like driving from here to the end of Donegal, is it?
Yeah, but when you look out at the horizon, you look out at the horizon, you can only see blue and blue.
I think that's a lot of nonsense, honestly.
But that's what people didn't know.
I know, people think them things because...
They didn't know.
I think that probably mostly happens in Ireland because if you drive from here to Donegal, go to the very end, you're going to come to the cliff. So I think they're picturing all this, that this is the end of the world here. I don't know if that's the case, be honest about it.
Right, so here's another one.
I don't want to believe it either.
Here's another one.
I know you're not going to convince me either, okay?
I'm not here to convince you. I'm here to just mind
advise.
your brain for all the
You're here to pass all your science skills over to me, yeah?
I'm here to mind your brain for all
Well, right now you're doing a bad job.
for all the super stupidity.
Yeah, you have it all wrecked now.
Because I'm as stupid as you're thick. So here's another one, right? There are people who believe that the world is run by reptiles.
Reptiles?
Yeah, like snakes.
What the heck?
Like the Queen of England underneath her skin.
She's a reptile?
It's a reptile. And that like...
So are you a reptile? Because I'm afraid of snakes.
Well, in Ireland we had St. Patrick, got rid of all the snakes.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah, he was good, thank God.
But that's like, and like there's this secret group. You probably heard this word before.
Where's all that weird stuff come from? Because I don't have a big...
You probably heard this before. You're going to have nightmares after this now. You probably heard this word before.
I don't like it.
The Illuminati. You probably heard that word before. Did you ever hear that?
I don't want to talk about Illuminati.
The Illuminati?
I heard of it. I don't want to talk about it.
Why?
I don't believe in it.
Hold on. You can talk about reptiles.
Yes, reptiles are snakes. You said reptiles
You're
are
not
snakes.
going all weird there now. Does something happen with you and the Illuminati?
Reptiles are wizards. Reptiles are, lizards.
Did something happen with you?
No, you're working my head already.
Does something happen with you and the Illuminati?
Reptiles, I'm not talking about no Illuminati, okay? I don't want to talk about it.
Is that going real serious?
Yeah. Reptiles
I knew there was something on this list that'd freak him out.
Reptiles are crocodiles, are they? Snakes. Reptiles are lizards.
He's not going on with
There's loads of different types of reptiles. What reptiles are we talking about?
Like pure, like human-sized reptiles with big tails and scales and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and underneath their skin, they're reptiles, and their skin is just like a false cover.
And do you think that's true?
I think it's wacky.
Serious?
Yeah.
So tell me something then so right.
People believe the Queen of England is a reptile.
And do you believe it?
No.
Are we saying she's something evil? Is that it?
Yeah, kind of. That's probably it.
Is that what you're saying about the Illuminati? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. What about the Illuminati? Go on. I won't have much to say about it. But
so people reckon that there's a secret societies that rule the whole world.
Illuminatis in America.
Well, you're saying it's in America. I didn't say it was in America.
No, listen. I'm not saying I want to talk about it. The reason is I've heard bits where it's in America and it's finding its way into the UK and other parts of the world.
Okay, so that's called a conspiracy theory.
Right, go on.
That's just the same as, it's in the same room as the Earth is flat. There's a thing up in the North Pole called the Yeti. 9/11 was a cover-up job. COVID-19 and 5G were put there to kill us. Yeah?
Yeah.
There's loads of conspiracy theories. And there's some of them that are nutty and some of them that are, that could actually be true. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there could be UFOs. I reckon that could be true. Chemtrails are here to control us. I think that's nutty. There's people out there that think Paul McCartney is died years ago in like a motorbike crash.
Oh man, that's weird.
Telling you now.
But he's mad live singing.
But they say it's not him, it's somebody else. They got somebody after the bike or the car crash and they got somebody else.
That's the first time I ever heard that in my life.
There's loads, there's sheets of them here, and some of them are as nutty as anything else.
Sure, look, but even when Elvis died, they tried to say he didn't die. He was
so there's one here, Elvis is alive.
Is that on that?
Yeah.
Serious?
Elvis is alive. Tupac is still alive.
Tupac?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big investigation into him, wasn't there? A massive investigation into
people
him.
Are like, I understand it, and it's weird, and there's people have fears, but some of them are wacky, and some of them are dangerous. Some of them are childish. Some of them I don't really care about. Some of them are real.
Yeah, but the likes of that there, like saying that people want to have so much evidence that someone like that Tupac was shot.
So on the top of the list here for stuff that you need to go and get medical help is the Illuminati. Yeah,
for medical help for it.
Yeah, like that. If you're believing in the Illuminati, that you need to
medical help.
You need to go and get medical help.
I don't believe in the Illuminati. I don't, as I said earlier on, I don't really want to talk about it.
And then halfway down, there's another one here. Say this is in the middle of the list. Michael Jackson and Elvis and Tupac are still alive. I think, it's probably not true, but it definitely could be true.
But I'm trying to say, but I can't say the word.
What? Ball say if I bullshit. Bollocks. It's a load of bollocks. I'm trying to see, is there one here that you might believe in?
Did you download this thing? Yeah.
I did. Well, yeah. I
know you didn't make the list, but you downloaded it from the, what do you call it, yeah?
From the interweb, yeah. Here's one at the very bottom of the list. Britney Spears was being controlled by her daddy.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah.
But
that's not scientific. Or like,
no, but loads of this stuff isn't scientific.
Well, here, if she said it herself.
She did say it herself, yeah.
Yeah, she was on. Sure, it was only 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, when she got her freedom from her father, basically.
There's one there. You know the way they call Hitler a Nazi?
And she was going crazy at the same time.
Yeah. You know the way they call Hitler a Nazi?
Yeah,
they say the Nazis are in a spaceship on the moon.
They done big damage to her life and her career.
Oh, they wrecked her head.
And basically, at one stage, she cut all her hair off because she was basically mentally disturbed, if you like, because of the pressures all around her.
Yeah.
And should she stay here?
How do you know about this stuff?
I do hear little bits, like, you know. I have contacts in America too, you know.
You have contacts in Brittany Ferries, never mind Britney Spears.
But yeah, so all that stuff is worldwide anyway. All that nonsense there, that most of what's on that sheet, yeah?
Yeah.
And it's only in Egypt. Oh yeah, you're right. Did somebody just say, if you believe in half of that, is it?
Yeah, like there's like a list here, and at the top of the list, there's like the earth is flat, the moon is hollow, and it's filled with Nazis.
So some smart alley came along and said, if you believe in half of this, you need medical help.
Oh, it's madness.
I agree with him, whoever he is, or she, whoever it is.
Like, I would say, in the last, say, 15 years, yeah, that half the people that you know believe some of the stuff on this list.
Half the people I know
believe some of the stuff on this list.
No, it's not that half the people I know that would believe in it. Probably half the people would be curious about and they'd be, not saying they'd be interested in it, but...
And not just you, I'm talking about everybody in the
world.
Yeah,
you said half the people I know.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about.
But I'm talking about everybody in the world. Half the people I know, half the people out there would
but
believe at some point some of this madness.
I do know people that have talked about certain bits of them things there, but it's not that they believe in it, it's just conversation. Like seriously, the one with Paul McCartney, Elvis is alive. That was a theory from the very, very start.
The earth is round.
Now if you
the earth doesn't move, the sun moves around the earth.
If you go onto the internet now, you'll see where real people gave, let's say, real stories, if you like. So there's more and more evidence coming out about them things.
I like your one. I like the one way you say it. If it's right in front of me and it's here and I can see it, I'm going to believe it.
Yeah, that's like someone coming telling me a story about you, Dean, yeah? And saying Dean is this and Dean is that and Dean is everything. I won't believe it because why? I need to see it for myself. And if I do see it for myself, then you're sacked. Simple as. There's no.
Is someone talking about me?
Yeah. No.
What are they saying?
What we're saying is, you have to see it.
If there's people out there talking behind my back.
Yeah, I've heard the saying. If you have to see it to believe it.
Yeah.
So I'm using that as a reference there, like sort of, you know, if we believe in everything that we hear, 100%, you need medical help. Because if you don't need medical help, you're going to end up needing medical help.
100%. Yeah.
So I believe in that. I definitely believe in that.
Yeah.
I believe, and that's not
Be careful of the shit you believe in.
Yes, absolutely.
But if you're going to believe in something,
our brain is like the internet again. We only have a certain amount of is it megabytes or gigabytes, yeah. So any more than that is going to put severe pressure on us. And we just can't handle it because we're only human at the end of the day.
And most stuff's not our business.
This is it. That's what I'm trying to say. Don't carry that baggage. We don't have room for that.
Put that suitcase down.
Put it away out completely. We don't have room in the brain for that kind of baggage or nonsense.
I can't wait for the aliens though and the UFOs.
Well, I'm not interested in aliens.
I can't wait for it.
I don't care about the aliens, and
I can't wait for you to come out camping with me, and we lie down on the grass.
I won't be camping with you, Dean.
And you're singing songs in my
I'm
ear.
happily married. I have a lovely family.
I wasn't talking about taking you on that type of a weekend.
Any camping I do is going to be with my wife and kids.
And then you say to me,
hey,
actually, I'm at the realising
telling me
the earth is moving.
And you're waking
me up. The sun is staying still.
Two of us in the one tent, and you wake me up saying I'm about to see an alien. Where would you run to? You're on Earth.
I wouldn't be running into your tent anyway.
Nowhere to run. Oh my God. That reminds me back in the where you were in Africa, was it? When you opened your tent and the elephant was standing there.
Oh my God.
I got some laugh that time.
Tell you what, I know what moved that night. It wasn't the sun, moon and stars.
The tent moved.
It was me back into me sleeping bag.
Oh my God. But that's the crack there with all that stuff anyway.
So that's that. I like that. I love the bit where we got into your head about you just look out of your window and you see the sun setting, or you're driving and you see the sun setting, and in your head the sun is moving and the earth is still. And that if you dig down, you just end up in a hole. If you keep on going,
well, there you go. As I said, you don't need a shovel if you want to go to hell. You ever understand? Don't forget your shovel if you want to go to work.
Oh, I was out with Christy Moore last week.
I was going to say that.
Oh my God, what an amazing man! And who else did I meet? Bernadette Devlin, amazing woman. We've got some beautiful people in this country.
And Christy Moore has a couple of good songs about travellers, you know, don't you? He's a long time on the go.
I'm going to reach out to Christy to come on and have a chinwag with us. I know he done another podcast recently. The two Norries, two lads from Cork who are kind of come through recovery, come through addiction and all that.
Very good.
And I know Christy is in that world. You know what I mean? The AA kind of world. So I'm going to reach out to him, get him on. I think it'll be amazing. Good chat. Maybe getting to sing an old traveller song or two.
Sing an old song on it, yeah. That'd be good, wouldn't it? That'd be interesting, but sure, would it ever happen?
Get an old duet with Martin Stokes.
Yeah, it'd be cool, all right.
So I think that's us this week, episode 35.
So that was number 35, yeah?
Next week, more mad questions to open up Martin's brain and get in there.
We'll have to go now and see the doctors. It says on that list there, doesn't it?
I have a cracker question for you by next week.
If you're reading this, you're going to need medication, medical attention.
Episode 35, a Traveller and a Countryman podcast. So that's us for this episode, a Traveller and a Countryman podcast. If you like it, let us know, share it around, and we'll see you on the road.